Now let's come to the afternoon session paper. How many of you have appeared in the afternoon session? What do you feel about the paper? Please do let me know. In the forenoon session, whatever questions we have received, I found it very easy. Let me check how the questions in the afternoon came. The first question is the value of minus 1 to 1 x e to the power mod x dx is what? This is the question that we have got. Now clearly you can see that this is from minus a to a, an integral of something. Definite integral minus a to a property. What is the first thing that we check? The first thing that we check is whether the function is even or odd, right? This is the only thing that we check in all these circumstances. So if you check about the f of minus x, f of x is what? F of x is x into e raised to mod x. If you put minus x here, it will be minus x, and e raised to, even if you put minus x in the mod, it will come out to be, mod is always giving you positive value. So it will be e to the power mod x only. So this is an even function, but this x is an odd function. So it is making the entire function as an odd. It is making the entire function as odd. And if this is an odd function, everyone knows that minus a to a, an odd function is, what is the answer? The answer is 0, clearly. How many of, I hope that you have got at least this one as correct, right? Straight away, straightforward question. Now, the next question that I have received is from numerical methods, where a trapezoidal rule, a question based on trapezoidal method have been asked. It looks like a very straightforward question. Let us see the question in detail. The function is given out to be fx is equal to 10x minus 20x square, and the lower limit is given out to be a equal to 0 and b equal to 0.5, and number of subintervals is given as 5, and you need to calculate obviously the integral of this function using trapezoidal method. Now, using the given data, what is the first thing that we do? We calculate the step size, the step width. What is the formula for step width? The formula is, let me use a different color, h is equal to p minus a by n. 0.5 minus 0, that is by 5, and it is coming out to be 0.1. You have got the step width. The lower and upper limits are known. So tell me one thing, if there is n, or if there is 5 subintervals, the number of ordinates will be what? 6. Number of y values will be what? 6. So let me make a table and calculate the x and the y values. Here I am writing x and here I am writing y, and let us check it out. Wait, this is the first value, x equal to 0. If you add 0.1 to this, it will be 0.1. If you add again, it will be 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 and 0.5. We have reached the final b value, correct? You can see there are 6 x values. Now corresponding y values you need to calculate. For that you will be putting all these values in this function. Now I have calculated this, and the values that I got is 0. Again this one is 0.8. Again this one is 1.2. This is 1.2. This is 0.8, and this is 0. This is y0. This is y1. This is y2. This is y3. This is y4, and this is y5. Trapezoidal method. I hope that you didn't forget the formula or haven't made any mistake in the examination hall. The formula is what? The formula is h by 2 y0 plus y last value is what? y5 plus 2 times of all the y remaining values. This is the formula, right? In place of which you will be putting what? 0.1 by 2. Now the first and the last values are 0 and 0, so it's gone. 2 times into, what are the remaining values? Remaining values is 0.8 plus 1.2 plus 1.2 plus 0.8. if you multiply this is 0.1 into 1.6 plus it is 2.4. It is coming out to be what? It is coming out to be 0.1 into 4, or 0.4 is the final answer. 0.4 is the final answer. Now, please, I hope that you have taken care of the number of decimal places that they have asked in the question. I do not have the exact data about the number of decimal places, so I hope that you have taken care of that part, because you can make mistake in that part only. GATE wants you to make mistake in that part. Let's say if it has asked up to 2 decimal places, so you are going to put 0.40. You cannot leave till 0.4. I hope that you have taken that aspect of the question in mind. So again, if that aspect is clear, so question is pretty simple and you are getting 0.4 as the answer. Again, a very straightforward question. Till now, every question that I found is pretty straightforward. Now, let's move on to the next question. The next question that I am getting is from limit. Again, in the forenoon session it was asked. Again, here it's also has been asked. The question is something like this: limit x tends to infinite, x ln x divided by 1 plus x square. What is the first thing that we do in a limit question? The first thing is checking the form. The form is what? Clearly the form is infinite by infinite, right? So what after that? L'Hopital rule. If you apply L'Hopital rule here, it will be x into differentiation of this, it is 1 by x, plus ln x into differentiation of x is 1, divided by, it is 0 plus 2x. So it is coming out to be 1 plus ln x, right, by 2x. What is the, if I again substitute infinite over here, it is again infinite by infinite, right? L'Hopital rule again you can apply. So limit x tending to infinite, if you again differentiate it, it will be 0 plus 1 by x divided by 2. It is coming out to be 1 by 2x. And finally, if you substitute infinite over here, you are getting 0 as the answer. 0 as the answer. And this was an MCQ question. So 0 is there in the answer. Answer is 0. So I hope that you have got this one as correct. Most of you have got correct. I'm sure about that. I'm sure about that. At least until and unless you have made a serious, silly mistake in this question. So far all the questions have been pretty straightforward. You can see that it is on the easier level, right? It is on the easier level. Now let's see the remaining questions. The next question that I am getting is unit normal vector. Well, a question from vector calculus. Everyone knows that questions do come from vector calculus. It is a no-brainer, right? Questions have to come from vector calculus. The question is, a surface has been given to you in this form and its unit normal vector has been asked at what point? 4, 4, 4. Unit normal vector, and this is the surface given. What do we need to find out? Normal unit vector, or let's say normal vector to any surface, is the gradient of the surface, right? Everyone knows it's a pretty straight concept. If you have studied it, it's a pretty straight concept. You need to find the gradient of this function. Convert this in this form. F of x comma y is x square plus y square plus z square minus 48, and find the gradient. Gradient of this. What is the formula? The formula is del f by del x into I cap plus del f by del y into j cap plus del f by del z into k cap, and finally you need to substitute the point 4, 4, 4. These are the partial differentiations, right? So it is 2x I cap plus 2y j cap plus 2z k cap, and if you substitute 4 comma 4 comma 4 in this, it will be what? 8i plus 8j plus 8k. Now it has asked unit normal vector. You need to convert it in unit form. Now what is the magnitude? What is the magnitude of this vector? The magnitude is root over 8 square plus 8 square plus 8 square, and it is coming out to be what? It is coming out to be, I guess, 192. Coming out to be 192, right? Again, if you simplify this, it is coming out to be 8 root 3. 8 root 3. So just a minute. So you need to find what? Unit normal vector. So divided by its modulus. Divided by its modulus. Correct. Divided by its modulus, and it is 1 by 8 root 3, and it is 8i plus 8j plus 8k. And clearly you can see that 8 and 8 are cancelling each other. So it is I by root 3 plus j by root 3 plus k by root 3. So the options that I have received are in the form of coordinates given. So remove I, j and k and simply write 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3. And I guess option A is the correct answer. Now, is this a hard question? No. Have this question appeared in your PYQs? Absolutely yes. That too 4 to 5 times. So will you consider this an easy question? Absolutely. It's a direct question, no brainer, and most importantly, there is hardly any chance of making a silly mistake in such questions that we have discussed so far. Correct? Because it has got minimal calculations. So I hope that whatever questions I have discussed so far, you have got each and every one as correct, right? Don't forget that easier the questions, the more competitive the nature of the exam is. Moving on to the next question. Now the next question that I've got is from differential equation, and it's an MCQ type. Remember, no MSQ so far. At least I haven't got it. So let's see. The question is, a differential equation has been given. And you need to solve it. Now, what form are you seeing this? This is a first order or first degree equation. Clearly, it's in the form of a Leibniz equation. What is Leibniz equation? Leibniz equation is dy by dx plus p of y is equal to q, where p and q are functions of x or constants. Remember, it can be constants as well. Most of us only remember that it need to be only of the form of f of x. Now, what do we need? Well, let me convert this first. Dy by dx plus minus of 1 by x into y is equal to 1. What is p? P is minus of 1 by x. What is q? Q is 1. What is the next thing? The next thing is finding the integral factor, integrating factor, e raised to integration p of dx. E to the power, what is p? P is minus 1 by x into dx. It will be e to the power minus of ln x, and it is, if you take minus there, it will be e to the power ln x inverse, or finally it will be 1 by x according to a log property. The integrating factor is coming out to be 1 by x. What is the general solution? Let me write it over here. Let me utilize this as well. The general solution is y into integrating factor is equal to q into integrating factor plus a constant, let's say k. Y into, what is the integrating factor? 1 by x. So let me write 1 by x is equal to 1, q is 1. So I will directly write 1 by x plus a constant k. It is ln x, and well, it's a ln question. So let me write ln k itself. Ln k, I can easily write that. So why do I write ln k? So because most of the options that I am seeing is of the form ln of something. So yes, I hope that you got the point that I can write k as ln k. This is coming out to be ln x into k. Here it is y by x. So finally what is y? Y is, just a minute, y is x into ln into kx, and I've got the answer already. It is option B, x into ln of kx. So again, Leibniz equation, direct question, you can say easy question, definitely yes, and I hope that you have got at least this one as right. All of the questions so far has been pretty direct. Yes, pretty direct. It has been direct question only. Well, and these are the questions that you generally study. These are the very common topics. Now let's see the other questions, and you need to write in the comment section, or don't forget that you need to write whether you have got all these questions as correct or not, whether you have made any silly mistakes or not, and most importantly, what do you think about the entire paper. And I hope that the other students are watching this as well, so that you get a gist that what may come in the future, right? And if you are finding this as useful, please do not forget to like and subscribe, and do share with your friends as well. They might find it very useful, they might be helped. Now moving on to the next question, and now a good question from directional derivative is in front of me, and I hope that the students who have appeared in the paper have already guessed what the question is. The question is, a function has been given as x into e raised to y. Directional derivative of the function has been asked at what point? We all know, right? Directional derivative is always asked about at a point and a unit vector. These are the two things that is always given. So the point is given as 2, 0, and the direction has not been given directly. It has been given that it is along the straight segment. It is straight along the direction of the straight segment from 2, 0 and half, 2. 2, 0 and half, 2. This is given that it is along this direction that we need to find out the directional derivative. Now, I've always said that we should stick to the basics. We should write the entire formula so that each and every step becomes clear. The formula for directional derivative, just a minute. The formula for directional derivative is what? Directional derivative of the function at point A in direction of B. This is the standard representation of directional derivative, and the formula is what? Gradient of f dot product with B. Do not forget that this B is in the unit form, right? So can we find out the gradient of this function? Yes, definitely. The gradient is del f by del x into I cap plus del f by del y into j cap. At what point? Point is given as 2, 0. Yes, 2, 0 is the point. What is del f by del x? Del f by del x is e raised to y I cap plus it is x into e raised to y into j cap at 2, 0. So just substitute the point. It is coming out to be I plus 2j. This is the gradient that you have got. Now the next step is finding the b vector. It is clearly mentioned that this is along this line. What is, if I consider this as origin, so this point minus this point, right? x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap. So the b vector is half minus 2 I cap plus 2 minus 0 j cap, right? It is coming out to be what? 1 minus 4 by 2. It is minus 3 by 2 I cap plus 2j cap. This is the B vector. Now, this is the B unit. You need to find its magnitude and convert it in the form of a unit vector. So, let me use this space over here. Let me use this space over here. And what is magnitude? What is the magnitude of that? Magnitude is root over minus 3 by 2 square plus 2 square, and it is coming out to be root over 9 by 4 plus 4. What? 9 plus 16 by 4. 9 plus 16 by 4. It is root over 25 by 4, and it is coming out to be 5 by 2. 5 by 2. Correct? What is the B unit cap? It is, you need to divide it by mod. So what is the vector? My vector was minus 3 by 2 I cap plus 2j cap, and you need to divide it by what? 5 by 2. So it will be 2 by 5. Yes? 5 by 2 means what? 2 by 5. So let me write in this way. Just a minute. 2 by 5 I can write. It is coming out to be minus 3 by 5 I plus 4 by 5 j. See, whether you have done it correctly or not, you can clearly check by finding its modulus. What is the modulus? The modulus of this is 9 by 25 plus 16 by 25. Is it coming out to be 1? Yes. So you have done it correctly. And finally, you need to simply, well, let me do not go over there. Just I will come over here and use this space as well. Use this space as well. I'll be writing with red. Yes. I plus 2j dot product with minus 3 by 5 I plus 4 by 5j. Take the dot product. The dot product is what? Coming out to be minus 3 by 5 plus 8 by 5, and I think it's coming out to be 1. So the answer of this question is 1. Is this a new question? No. Has this come in the PYQ? Definitely 2 to 3 times, and the questions that have come is of tougher level. So again, this is a direct question. Yes, you might say that this is an average question, since if you don't know the concept rightly, or in case you have made a silly mistake. So what do I make of the entire paper? What do you think? What do you think? Now everyone is on, let us be honest, and everyone is sure that everyone knows that if you have followed the basics nicely, if you have done all the PYQs, only the PYQs, no extra questions, if you have only done the PYQs, are well accustomed with the basic concepts, the entire paper is pretty straightforward for you guys, with whatever the questions that I have received at least. Now since this is a memory based question, some data might be here and there, or I might have not received all the questions, but with whatever majority of the questions that I have received, we can clearly say that this is a straightforward question, right? Chances of error is very less. You cannot make any mistake in this paper. If you make mistake, you know you are going to regret it later. Now, MSQ questions, or throughout the year you have been thinking that MSQ, from where should I solve MSQ? I found no such MSQ questions, at least in whatever questions that I have discussed. All the questions have been straightforward from the basics. I found it very easy. I hope that you have solved it as well, right? So, finally, what I would say is that even if you have committed mistake in any of the questions, no need to worry. Just be hopeful of whatever you have given. Chill out, because you have finally given the exam. Relax and finally go on to your next target. And the students that have yet to give the exam, make whatever you want to make of it. No need of finally concluding anything. Just see that from where the questions have been given, revise properly, especially those who have exams in the next week. Revise properly, cover each and every concept, and all the best. Be cool and give the exam. Give your best. That's it. This is all what we can do, right? All the best. And finally, do not forget to like and subscribe. In case you have found this useful, share it as much as you can with your fellow candidates. Signing off. Goodbye. All the best. Bye.